Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. That time already, huh?
Yep, time to get to work.
Yes, sir.
So what's the plan for today?
Plan for today is clean this baby out.
Trash
Trash
can?
We hit the sandblast, the license plate cover still, maybe.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
And then button up the wiring and light bulbs in the trunk. Other than that, I think we pretty well.
That would be a full day.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you at 4. What?
So you're gonna clean the trash can and paint it, you
no. I'm gonna clean this guy.
Oh, that. So yeah, I remembered the other day that we never installed the front sway bar, so I'm gonna get that done. This thing's beefy. I had a lot of dilemma trying to figure out the bushings and stuff for this, because this does not appear to be the one that came with the car. As near as I can tell, it's a Trans Am. I think it's 1 1/8 inches, which is just a strange size.
Right.
So it's really hard to find the bushings for it. I have them. Hopefully they work.
Right.
I've never actually checked to see if they work, but hopefully they do. Anyway, so this thing's in decent shape, so we're just going to wash it with soap and water, hit it with a wire wheel to get the crud off of it, and then just going to rattle can it. I got some red paint. We're going to try that, see if we like it. If not, we'll paint it black. And then, as Pop said, we'll do the sandblasting for the 2 license plate frames, get those painted, and then once all that's done, I can figure out the rear view camera, the backup camera, and then we can wrap up all the wiring in here. So put the battery back. Yeah, okay, let's get to work. So I was just telling Pops, I'm really looking forward to the day when I can get a new blasting cabinet. This one just really does not work very well. It's too small. The angle on the bottom's not steep enough so the stuff doesn't really fall to the bottom. So Eastwood, sponsor me. Give me a new cabinet. Anyway, so we're in related note, we're talking about, we have this shed in the backyard. Have we ever shown the shed? I don't think we have. Maybe we have. I think I did. So I built this shed 20 years ago, something like that. And it was for housing our pump house and stuff for our pond, which we're not using anymore. But we have this big open space in here. So once we get all this cleaned out, I want to put the compressor in here, and then we'll have a lot of room. I can put a big blasting cabinet in here, I think, and that'll be really nice, because this is just kind of overflow space here. But then I have to figure out how to route the air from here to the garage.
And I'm calling the hoarding network right now.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, but I've seen worse.
We'll give it to my brother. You can take care of it.
Yeah. So anybody has any ideas who's paying attention on how to get the air from here to the garage? The obvious choice would be to run something underground into the garage, but then you've built a fluid trap down there on the bottom, which is not ideal. So I think you want to have it come up with the fluid water trap at the bottom, so the water comes back down, and then it's kind of angle either to or from the house, one way or the other. But then you've got this air line running across here somewhere. So I don't know, anybody has any thoughts on that, let me know. All right, let's go blast.
Okay.
Yeah, sandblaster was just not doing much of anything, so got one of those stripping discs on there. Got this pretty well, but you can't really get everywhere. So hopefully I can get the rest with the sandblaster. But this primer, man, it sticks. All right, so the sandblaster was fairly useless, and we ultimately got it with the stripping wheels and wire wheels and everything else, and then just using the sandblaster to try and get in the little corners. As you can see, it's still not perfect, but it is what it is. And then this guy, upon closer inspection, you see he's got a really rough finish on it. I don't know what that is, if that came from the factory that way, or if that's just from rust over the years, but looking like that, I'm not going to bother painting it red. A gloss red would look terrible on that, so we're going to go with the satin black on everything. All right, while we're waiting for all of that to dry, we have the issue of the gobbled up hole here. The suggestion was made to put seam sealer in there, which probably would work, but I thought I'd use some JB weld for it. So I'm just basically going to plug that hole, then we can drill it and tap it later. I think this will work. So let me mix some of this up, drop it in there. All right, so let that dry. I tried to smooth that out a little bit, but not very well. And we'll see how that works. If not, we can always add some more, but it's taking a long time to dry because it's cold. So we'll just leave that be. Put that up next time. These guys are done. Came out pretty good. And the sway bar, made this little contraption to hold it up. It almost worked. It fell off somewhere along the way in the painting, so it kind of crunched on the corner there, but I think it's all right. It looks pretty good. Like I said, the satin hides all the sins of that metal there. So we're going to let that sit there and dry for a few hours because it's, like I said, it's not drying very well because it's so cold. And then we'll touch up any spots that we missed later. I'm sure we missed some things. Looks okay. So, good enough?
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly. Are you enjoying the Swedish summer weather now? Huh?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's so nice. All right. Actually, I like this weather.
Yeah, I do too.
Because it's not too cold, not too hot. Even the humidity's not bothering. Yeah, the paint doesn't work very well.
Yep.
But. All right, let's wrap it up then.
Let's do it.
All right, adios. All right, so the JB weld worked okay, I think. I don't know how strong that is and whether that's going to stay there or not, but it felt a little crunchy going in there. So what I did was, the day that I put that in, I came back a couple hours later. It was still not fully cured, and I ran the screw down in it to put the threads in it. And then I just came back today, like the week after, and tied it down. I have a feeling if I crank on that, it's going to break, but it seems good enough for now. So, call that a win. Afternoon.
Good afternoon. How we doing?
All right. How are you?
I'm great. I lied last week. I thought we had 2 weeks left. I said even a week and a half. You didn't post that video yet.
Nope.
But now I find new work. That's all small stuff, though.
It's all small stuff.
Yeah.
So what's the plan for today?
We're going to work on the taillight stuff, get the wires over there figured out, check on your backup camera if that's going to fit, or if we got to modify anything. Sway bar laying there's got to be installed. And we're going to run the engine, because it's kind of warm today. Should I get up to maybe 70? Run the engine so we can check the thermostat, do the fans actually work on its own. You know, we tested it, but not on its own. So that'll also heat up the room. Cool.
That's an excellent recap.
Yep.
You covered every single point. Nicely done.
I'll see you next week then.
Yep. All right. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, so we got this guy on, and then realized I need to paint this backside, but that's okay. So here's the backup camera. So it bolts up to the top of the license plate there somehow. Looks like we have plenty of room to clear. This is what I was concerned about. You see there's lots of room right here, so I think it'll be fine. The license plate is supposed to tuck up under here. It doesn't want to fit for some reason. But this thing would go in the same spot, and that's not going to clear either, so we're just going to leave it on top. All right, so we're going to connect the power to the backup light here so that the camera is only on when the backup light's on. There's the connector. So power goes here to this guy, and then this is the video feed here, which connects to one of those 2 wires. There's 6 wires there, I have to remember which one. And then this is the connector for the camera. So we'll get that wired up just as a test here, because I'm not sure if this camera has to be up one way or the other, which way is up. And I don't know if the head unit can flip it. So we're going to figure that out first before we go any further. Wow, it's got LEDs and everything. Things are looking up for you, Pops.
Yeah.
Future's bright. I can see there. Look at that. Look at that stuff. Okay, so that works. All right, so I got that mounted there. Just ran the wire down through here, around the back, tucked it up under here. We'll figure something out with this later. And then drilled a hole here, which has got away from me a little bit. We'll touch the paint up on that later. And the wire comes up through there, through a grommet. That should be pretty waterproof, I think. Not that a lot of water can get up to that spot anyway. So that's that. Okay, so we spliced in the power lines here into the backup light. Hopefully the backup light. Yep, backup light. So that's all done, so we'll just tie all this together here. And then I need to get an extension for this to run to the line there. The kit comes with one, but it's a bit long. It'll work for now. Okay, so we'll tie this up here, and then we're going to move on to the trunk light switch over here. All right, got everything back together. Still need to find some place to tuck this one. I haven't quite figured out what to do with these wires yet. keep those out of the way. So here's the switch from this guy. We're not going to hook that up yet. Remember, I got some LED lights to run in here. Solve that later. Got the fuel pump connector back on. I cut this wire a while ago so that we could take this stuff out. So that's ready to go back together. Yeah. Another question for anybody who is interested in this is for the battery here. I got like a 300 amp circuit breaker, I think. I got this little guy, a fuse holder for the stereo. But if anyone has any good ideas about how to secure these wires here, the battery is going to be strapped down. I might do that today too, get that locked out of the way. But then what to do from there? Because you want these things as close to the battery as possible. Sorry. But I also want it such that if that hot wire comes out of there, it can't arc against anything. I don't have a good strategy for that. You could kind of, you know, bend these things down or something, and if maybe, you know, stick the fuses or something to the side of the battery or something. I also thought about sticking them up under here so that if the wire fell off, it would kind of fall down. But anyone have any thoughts on that? So we should be just about good to go here. Let me get the battery strapped down and then we'll get the car started. All right, well, here goes nothing for everybody that likes cold starts. We haven't started this thing in a year.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know. Let's see if it'll start. I don't even know if the battery.
Yeah, it'll start.
I don't even know if the battery's got enough juice. Fuel pump works. This, it's so exciting in here. All right, so we're already up to about 140. Hopefully we don't run out of gas. Got my thermometer here just to keep an eye on things. 105, 98. Nothing going on down there. 40. Not that hot. Exhaust is 230 degrees. Temperature sensor there. Everything seems okay here. So I was going to keep an eye on things for a minute here and see how it goes. So we are maxing out here about 190-ish, maybe 195. Thermostat did open up, the bottom hose warmed up, but the fans haven't kicked on, but it's only 190, so I wouldn't expect them to. I also have a bypass here coming from the ECU, that hasn't kicked on either. I don't think it's hot enough for that. This thing I think is 160, but it's at the bottom of the radiator there, so I don't think that's hot enough. I still don't know if any of the cooling system actually works, other than it seems the radiator, thermostat does, but that's about as hot as it's getting, so. We'll let it run for a few more minutes, and if nothing happens, we're just gonna have to call it. You hear that? That's the fans. Yeah. Pop said he saw a little green there, so the overflow worked. So there's a bit of a squeal coming from the engine. I don't know what it is, I don't like it. But it only does it at higher RPM, so we'll have to see what that's all about. But no leaks.
Good. I think we tested, we're good on oil, right? All the way.
Check it again.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, I'll get it in a minute. So yeah, everything worked. We never got it high enough for the ECU to kick on the fans, but the PWM did it. So that's kind of cool. So the whole idea of that thing is it's not supposed to run the fans at high unless it needs to. And so that seemed to be okay. Everything got pretty toasty in here.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll call that. What's that?
I found out where the heater is now.
Yeah, let's check all the lights and stuff, make sure everything works here.
Sure.
While we're back, let's see, get this back in camera view.
I was going to try to catch that with the LED lights on.
Okay, let's see here. Brake lights?
That work?
Turn signal?
Works. Works.
Hazards on this thing.
With the backup light.
That works?
They working? Hang on, that. I'll get a shot of that. It's working. And do that again. The left light is not working on the backup light.
The backup light?
Yeah.
So it's not. It's kind of loose in there. Go in there. That's good. Oh, it stopped again. Right. Huh.
That connection there?
Something. Yeah. That needs to be tweaked. What's wrong with that connector? So, tail lights work. Oh, that's success.
Yep.
The door's closed great when you don't have the windows up.
Do you have this on?
Yep.
Give a good picture of the Gluteus Maximus then.
All right, what do you have to say for yourself?
Lights work, engine works, fan came on, got the temperature up to where it should be, the thermostat kicked in, we're good.
Yep. Ship it.
Yep. Got everything done here like we said we would.
Yep.
License plate holders in, your backup light is installed, all the stuff is tucked in nice.
The trunk key is the right way up now.
Well, that's unusual.
I installed that upside down last time, so I'm glad I fixed that.
It's all good, we're getting there.
Yes. So at this point, all we have to do is put the driver's seat in, hook up the power brake booster,
Sway bar.
vacuum line. I don't strictly have to have a sway bar, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's done.
It's amazing. I spent 19 years of planning. You've been working, what, on 2 years of planning?
Sure.
And we couldn't figure out what we'll do next week?
Yep. Cars are like that.
Yep.
Everything.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yep.
Weather's getting better. Next week's going to rain by Saturday, but that's good.
Yeah. So we
Not
should.
heating the garage now.
Yeah. Just need more gas.
Yeah.
I don't think Greenpeace would be very happy with that solution, but. All right. So yeah, I think for sure now we're down to the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
I just got to finish the seat, and we're ready to take it for a scoot.
Yep.
Yeah.
So next Saturday for sure, the seat will be done.
Yep. I'll make it so.
Huh?
I'll make it so.
I know you will.
Okay.
I can count on you.
All right. Adios.
Adios.